From Baby Reindeer to Taylor Swift, how amateur sleuths ruined pop culture. In the social media age, artists are using their trauma to bolster their relatability, while dramas are often thinly veiled personal testimonies. The unvarnished truth may be irresistible, but is it bringing out the rubberneck in all of us? I recently read a novel, Soldier Sailor by Claire Kilroy, that, from the start, I understood to be a work of fiction. Instantly, I was hooked by this immersive, gut-wrenching tale of a woman overwhelmed by the grueling labor and absolute love that characterizes early motherhood. Yet, by the halfway mark, I was seriously itching for my phone. Not because I wanted a distraction, but because I desperately needed to know one thing. Was it true? Late April 2024, three things dominate the pop culture conversation. Netflix series Baby Reindeer is the true story, as per the title card, of comedian's self-lacerating attempt to relay the knotty psychological toll of that abuse. It quickly racked up tens of millions of views. But for some it wasn't quite revealing enough. Around the same time, Taylor Swift's 11th album, The Tortured Poets Department, was decimating streaming records and saturating the headlines. The internet lit up with discourse, barely any of which related to the quality of the music itself. Instead, it was concerned with the lyrics that referred to specific relationships and actual events in Swift's life. The musician's output has long doubled as a cryptic, confessional autobiography, songs dotted with clues about the intimate details of her life. Unlike Gad, who naively warned viewers not to investigate further, Swift's Easter egg-littered songs actively invited listeners to scour the album for insight into her romances with actor Joe Alwyn and the 1975's Matty Healy, serving up material about her long-running feud with Kim Kardashian along the way. Finally, we witnessed two rap giants, the Pulitzer-winning Kendrick Lamar and Drake, by many metrics the most successful male solo artist of his generation, feuding via a volley of diss tracks that weaponized scandalous industry gossip, embarrassing personal revelations, and insiderish references. Again, fans scrambled to decode and catalog all this information online, providing elucidatory footnotes for those keen to get a handle on the grisly accusations and trace the animosity to its source. Baby Reindeer, The Tortured Poets Department, and the Drake v. Kendrick exchange are all examples of art that centers on intimately personal, literally true information, and their value is almost entirely bound up in their proximity to reality. That's not to say they have no artistic merit. In fact, Baby Reindeer is a masterpiece. But it is impossible to deny that they have acted primarily as starting blocks, preparing the public to race towards their actual entertainment, going online and finding out more. In this new age of ultra-realism, art and truth are becoming increasingly intertwined, with audiences primed to expect reality lurking just below the surface of the culture they're consuming. The zeitgeist teems with true stories, from starry dramatizations of historical crimes and recent news events to pop stars who queue up to bear their inner torment in no-holds-barred documentaries. The literary world, meanwhile, remains enthralled to tell-all memoir and autofiction. How did pop culture find itself in this moment of truth? It is almost eerily fitting that Baby Reindeer was the show to fire up a debate about the ethics of parlaying real-life experience into comedy. Gad was at the vanguard of stand-up comedy's shift from meticulously engineered gags to bracing personal disclosure. He was not the first to embrace it. In 2012, the American comic Tig Notaro broke through with A-Set Delivered Days after receiving a cancer diagnosis, a new reality she frankly reckoned with on stage in lieu of pre-written jokes. Baby Reindeer actor says she didn't know anything about real Martha as pressure grows on Netflix. Fiona Harvey claims Netflix show has defamed her. The actor who played Martha in Baby Reindeer has said she genuinely didn't know anything about the real person her character was inspired by. Pressure has been growing on Netflix to justify their hit series, which follows a struggling comic as he is relentlessly harassed and stalked by a woman for more than 4 years, after the real Martha was identified by fans. Top TV host Morgan interviewed Scottish lawyer Fiona Harvey, who said she wanted to set the record straight about details related to the Netflix show, which show creator and star Richard Gadd has said are real. She has since threatened to sue the streaming service for allegedly defaming her after the show suggests Martha is a convicted stalker. The show's creator, Richard Gadd, has defended the show as being the emotional truth and has denounced internet sleuths who went in search for Ens Harvey. His co-star Jessica Gunning, who plays Martha, has echoed Gadd's sentiment and said it was a real shame that Ens Harvey's real identity came to light. She asked whether it was problematic for the show to be based on real people. She told Radio Times, "I wouldn't use the word problematic. I would say maybe sensitive." She added that she absolutely saw Martha as a character and wasn't doing an impersonation of a real person, saying that she genuinely didn't know anything about the real person. "I didn't feel like we were reenacting scenes for some documentary. It felt like we were doing interpretations of these characters in this emotionally true world," she said. In the series, which has been watched by 65 million people and makes the statement, "This is a true story," it is suggested that stalker Martha goes to prison. However, there has been little evidence found to prove this. Ens Harvey has threatened to sue Netflix after fans on the show identified her by matching social media posts featured in the show with her own. During her interview with Piers Morgan, which has amassed over 10 million views, Ens Harvey denied that she had any criminal convictions and said the Netflix show's suggestion that she did was defamatory. Piers Morgan also alluded to the lack of evidence when justifying his controversial interview with Ens Harvey. He told the BBC the true story claim was serious failure by Netflix, as nobody's found any evidence whatsoever that she has any criminal record, let alone for anything to do with Richard Gadd.